¿Qué onda, chicos? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos a un nuevo video. El día de hoy estoy grabando esta intro después porque en su momento pues se me olvidó grabar la intro. ¿Qué quieren que te diga? Hoy vamos a jugar Stanley Parable. Es un juego que ya hace muchos años quería jugar. Y pues nada, vamos a ver gameplay. Que lo disfruten.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Voy a hacer una pequeña recolección por si alguien no entendió lo que está pasando. Básicamente parece que nosotros somos trabajadores, somos oficinistas y nos llamamos Stanley. Y básicamente nuestro trabajo es hacer esto: pulsar el botón aquí, pulsar el botón acá, pulsar el botón aquí, pulsar el botón acá, aquí, acá, aquí, acá, aquí. Y eso es nuestro único trabajo durante todo el día, durante todo el mes, durante todo el año, de todos los años que siguen. Y parece que somos muy felices haciendo este trabajo. Pulsar acá y acá, vamos, la rehostia es el trabajo. Pero un día de la nada, aparentemente, todos los compañeros de Stanley desaparecieron. No había nadie dando órdenes, no había nadie pidiendo papeles, no había nadie a quien decir hola. Entonces básicamente, simplemente un día de manera curiosa todos desaparecieron. Y básicamente la voz como que me está guiando. Y ahorita me dijo... y ahorita Stanley se levanta y sale fuera de la oficina. Me pidió que me saliera de mi oficina, así que eso voy a hacer. Okay. Nuestra habitación es 427. ¿Aquí hay algo antes de irnos? ¿Puedes hablar aquí? Efectivamente no hay nadie.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Buen punto,
No
pero
matter
también
how
digo que
hard
es muy
Stanley
vacío.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Muy raro, la verdad, parece que toda la oficina desapareció. Ok, tampoco hay que... Qué buena vista. No, no hay nadie. A ver aquí. ¿Aló?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok, yo me acuerdo que este juego es ese tipo de juegos donde el narrador nos da un camino, como el camino que se supone que debemos seguir, pero nosotros vamos a elegir si seguir el narrador o no seguir el narrador. Yo, como no me acuerdo muy bien de cómo era el juego, yo voy a seguir al narrador por ahorita. Y si no, a ver si hay manera de volver a... Ok, dijo que a la puerta de su izquierda. Muchos cuadritos, muy buena foto, por cierto. A ver, hola.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ok, ¿y esto qué es? Meeting floor, 4 reunión, meeting zoom. Ok, diapositiva. Spring, hope, esperanza, metamorfosis, sucesos. Hacer ejercicio. Yo haz un increíble y indiscutible trabajo todo el tiempo, todo el día. Buen consejo. A ver. Uy. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh. Okay.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Sospechoso, pero me voy porque no quiero hacer enojar a un narrador. Pero tal vez luego mire eso.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ok, pero también hay caminos. Uy, cuántos caminos, cuántos caminos. Uy. ¿Y esto? Sí, baño ejecutivo. Ahí atrás dice algo en el baño, en el cartel. A ver. Yo supongo que será allá. ¿Y acá qué es? Nada. Ok, qué bonita la oficina del jefe, ¿no? Habitación del
Stepping
jefe.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Qué desgraciado que es. Ok, entonces no hay absolutamente nada aquí. Y atrás hay un teclado numérico atrás de la oficina del jefe.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Que sí, pesado, que sí, ya me la sé. Pero ¿a dónde tengo que apuntar, huevón?
2845.
Ok. Pero no sé dónde. ¿Dónde? Ah. Joder.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Ok. Oh, no lo puse y dijo, este de aquí es mongolito, mejor yo lo pongo. Es que no había visto que estaba ahí. Ok, pues prosigamos. Qué perturbadores. La oficina del jefe está hecha de cartón, también me dirás tú que la ubica es el jefe. Rojo está este botón, A ver, terrible, ¿verdad?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
A ver. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Mind Control Facility. Escape. Mind Control Facility. Es que quiero escapar, ¿sabes? Pero es que se ve tan jugoso esta sala. Escapar y escapar. Adiós, escape. Se parece a la sala de los increíbles. ¿Qué?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ahora sabemos por qué la oficina del jefe estaba hecha de cartón. Aquí se acabó el presupuesto. Cámaras. Cámaras. Perdón, a ver.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Hay dos que están despedidos. Qué cosa más extraña, la verdad. A ver.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Ok. Estamos siendo manipulados aparentemente. ¿O no?
No.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Qué intenso, ¿no?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Pero ya están apagados. Dice disable, o sea, desarmado. Esta puerta tan sospechosa. Muy sospechosa. A ver. Esperando a ser conectada. Waiting input. Mind control is the waiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Ok. Pues supongo que lo voy a apagar en todo caso. Hola.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Sí.
Was it over?
No lo sé.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Ooh.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Estamos libres. Lo dice, chicos. Pero también te digo que el mundo de afuera no se ve como el mejor mundo del universo, ¿eh? O sea, yo creo que prefiero la oficina, se veía más chida.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh. ¿Ganamos? Así, chicos, los liberé a todos y hice el bien, pero yo no estoy contento con el modo bueno. Vamos a cuestionar un poco el narrador esta vez. ¿Qué les parece? Me parece. Entonces, si me fuera ahí,
Stanley came to a set of two
pues me voy para acá.
doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Claro, claro. Solo para mirar.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Vale.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
¿Sí?
Really worth it.
Sí, yo estoy muy cómodo aquí. Estoy bien a gusto de pana. No sé, no estoy bien a gusto.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Sí, no te voy a mentir, esta sala me encanta. Es azul, azul es mi color favorito. Realmente no.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Esa sala está muy a gusto. Creo que ahora sí que no hay más diálogo, así que vamos a ver. No sé de qué fue. A ver, vamos por aquí.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Ok. Con esta puerta regreso a los negocios. Pero no quiero.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
La verdad, sí. Ok. Hello. Cuidado con caerse. Don't jump from the car while live while it is in motion will become dead. Como castigo o como cargo, así como recibo, ¿sabes? Por subirse o por dañar el cargo es de $1000. Y el cargo por saltar al vacío es de 5000. Entonces te moriste, pero ellos quieren 5000. Supongo que por eso. A ver.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Ella. Uy, estoy enamorado. Acabo de ver que ahí hay una puerta abierta. Tal vez luego vemos.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Her.
She's been waiting.
Ok. Una sala oscura. Uy. Uy. A ver.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Está el teléfono sonando, pero hay un cable. ¿Podría desconectar el teléfono?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait, oh goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Sí.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
Yo soy lo que hago
Let me
imposible
double
posible.
check.
Regresando el guión.
It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Okay.
But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Ok. Police. Que nos instruyó sobre cómo tomar buenas decisiones y vamos a ver tomar la decisión correcta. Okay.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Hoy literal estoy rompiendo la realidad, bro. Wow. Ok, yo ya por aquí ya no puedo ir. Yo supongo que no ir por aquí. No. Solo me quiere por aquí, supongo. A ver.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why?
Sorry.
For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Hola. Tipo. Ostras.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Ahora sí.
To see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. A set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Qué nada más?
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, literal ya no me da otro camino. Oh, cambió.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
What?
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial
No
step.
puedo hablar. Night Shark 115.
Fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? So speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Oh, se arruinó la historia.
¡Feliz jueves! Pero no sé cómo decirlo con acento alemán. Nada más dice eso, feliz jueves.